Ideas, stories, events, all have a place here on Anchor. Music, instruction, therapy, all have a place here on Anchor. How to, where to, must do, all have a place here on Anchor. New talent, old talent, future talent, all have a place here on Anchor. No charge, no fee, no subscription.
WR Podcast.
5G, ultra high-end quality 9K radio.
Remember the swine flu scare of 1976? That was the year the U.S. government told us all that swine flu could turn out to be a killer, and Washington decided that every man, woman, and child in the nation should get a shot to prevent a nationwide outbreak, a pandemic. Well, 46 million of us obediently took the shot.
Did anyone ever come to you and say, there's the possibility of neurological damage if you get into a mass immunization program?
No.
No one ever did?
No. I can't believe that they would say that they did not know that there were neurological illnesses associated with influenza vaccination. That simply is not true. We did know that.
Then he's lying.
I guess you would have to make that assumption.
Then why does this report from your own agency list neurological complications as a possibility? You didn't feel it was necessary to tell the American people that information.
Clear to them that the vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at 100%. And we have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status. Because otherwise, if everything is reopened, then what's the carrot going to be? How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine? So that's why I think the CDC and the Biden administration needs to come out a lot bolder and say, if you're vaccinated, you can do all these things. Here are all these freedoms that you have. Because otherwise, people are going to go out and enjoy these freedoms anyway.
Liberty in the West. During an interview with Fox News, here's what she said. Vaccine passport sounds like a fine thing if you don't understand what those platforms can do. I'm the CEO of a tech company. I understand what this platform does. It is not about the vaccine. It is not about the virus. It is about your data. Once this rolls out, you don't have a choice about being part of the system. During that interview, she went on to further warn that many other functionalities can be loaded onto this passport platform very easily. Things like merging it with your PayPal account or your digital currency. She even said that Microsoft is already talking about merging it with payment plans. Then she gave the example of what happened in Israel. And 6 months later, we're hearing from activists that it's a two-tiered society and that basically activists are ostracized and surveilled continually. It is the end of civil society, and they are trying to roll it out around the world. It is absolutely so much more than a vaccine pass. It is, I cannot stress enough, that it has the power to turn off your liberty.
So, in other words, if you don't take the vaccine, you won't have your freedom. Your freedoms, the freedoms that are instilled in you and me and in all of us from the moment of birth here in America. So the question, should I or shouldn't I take the vaccine? Just because the government tells you, should you? I don't think so. First caller, Big Sal from Brooklyn. Take me. Tell me.
Hi, good morning, W. Thanks for taking my phone call. My question here is, I'm a pretty healthy, conscious health person, and ever since the COVID outbreak, I've been pretty healthy, conscious, no junk food, working out a lot, lots of water, and I've been around a lot of people who, they're teachers, they work in hospitals, and they're constantly getting tested. So they always come out negative. So I'm always hanging around with them. So if they come out negative, I'm pretty sure I'm negative. So my question here is, they always ask me, am I going to get the shot? And I tell them no. And then they ask me, but why not? And I always tell them it's like my choice, and, so if a lot of people are getting it, then aren't we on the road to
herd immunity?
Herd immunity, that's what they call it. So what do you think? Should I get the shot or shouldn't I get the shot? Because preferably I really don't want to take the shot.
Okay. Are you in radio cell?
Pardon?
Oh, because you got that voice.
No, I get that a lot, but no, I'm not in radio or announcing or anything like that. I've been asked, but thank you for the compliment.
I'll keep you in mind, Sal, for a gig.
Thank you.
All right. Remember, when government intervenes in people's everyday life, it is called meddling. It is called interfering. It is called trying to take control.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
Government's only job and only job is to primarily protect its citizens and put taxpayer money where it's supposed to go. That is it. That is it. Not in side projects, not in pet projects, or to other countries. USA only. Capiche? But people forget America has and still has constitutional rights. The problem is it is not taught. It is not spoken amongst your peers, your home. It is not spoken of. So it's like finding a wallet full of money. If nobody is looking, you think someone is going to give it back? Maybe, and rarely. But a high percentage of the time, no. If nobody is looking, someone will take advantage. And that's what the American people have to look at or look out for in government. The more they meddle in, the more government is a problem. Government is for protection only. Government's supposed to put money that the government takes from the taxpayer to the things that we vote on, not what they vote on. This is the misconception. America has to wake up.
So anyways, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Just because you get vaccinated, it doesn't mean that it does not come with side effects. All medication has side effects. Most can handle it, some can't. And with that some, is the government responsible if and only if, hypothetically, you die? Are they responsible? I think not. It's like, here's a vaccination, thank you very much, with a waiver form, and they're not responsible. So you drop dead, and so what? Next, the American people have to push back. If they don't, this totalitarian behavior will continue. You must take a shot. And by the way, here's a document that tells everyone you're vaccinated. So you can now go to the bodega, you can now go to the movies, you can now go to the supermarket, you can now buy a car. No. Businesses that encourage this behavior will lose business. You won't let me in because I don't have a passport ID. This idea will fail because America is free. Do you get it?
Aficionado. I'm a fashionista.
Sneakerhead. Metalhead.
Gearhead.
Audiophile.
Gamer. I'm a foodie.
Woo! I'm whatever this is.
Obsession has many names. This is ours. The new Lexus IS. All in on the sports sedan. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
It's just a mask, you guys. Don't be a jerk. It's for the greater good. It's just a vaccine, you guys. Don't be a jerk. It's for the greater good. In 4 months, the U.S. was transformed into an obedient socialist country. Government dictated what events are acceptable to attend. Violent protests that instill fear are okay. But church services, family funerals, and patriotic celebrations are dangerous. And you bought it without a fight. Standing in a graduation line is a safety hazard. Small businesses were forced to close, but crowds to support the corporate money machine at Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot are okay. Come on! It's just a mask. and safety precautions. How about a little hush money? Here's $2,400 that we stole out of your paycheck in the first place.
Yes, hi, W.
Howdy.
My question is, whose idea was to start this ridiculous idea for a passport ID? I really don't think this is gonna work at all. At all. What's your take on this?
You think the American people want to carry an ID telling everyone they got vaccinated? Don't come to our businesses unless you have an ID saying you're vaccinated. What else will you need to get from here or there? After a year of communistic practices, when will it be enough? Once again, the government doesn't make the laws. Again, the people give suggestions, write letters, have meetings, then it's considered and possibly become law because the people vote for that, not the government. They work for us. We don't work for them. Again, the government does not work for themselves. They work for us. For a year now, we've been letting them dictate when and how we should live. How to teach our kids through digital format that only hurts kids and not proven to educate. The only thing they learn in these Zoom schools is how to be antisocial. This whole COVID pandemic has made people lonely, has made people sad, has made people depressed, suicidal, angry, very angry. And all the effing government is doing is giving BS handouts that's going to inflate our economy. No. Get those swamp creatures out of office and put people who really care about Americans in there.
This goes out to everyone that's considering taking this COVID vaccine. I hope you realize, contrary to what the media is telling you, that this, quote, vaccine is still in trials. And it's going to be in trials until at least 2023. The media is telling you that it's safe and effective, and a lot of people think it's approved by the FDA. It is not approved by the FDA. They are in trials until January of 23. And that's if they're approved at that time. The only reason that they're able to use it is because they're keeping this pandemic alive because it's a state of emergency. Even though there's no argument that there's a less than 1% chance of dying from COVID.
Reuters fact check. Don't believe us? Check it out yourself.
Do it! Do it! Come on! Do it now!
This is season 2 of the WR podcast. Let freedom ring. More insightful, more delightful, and more punk rock attitude. With your host, Will Ramos.